Let's be honest, when you hear the word bitters, you probably picture a bartender, a fancy little bottle, and a classic old-fashioned cocktail, right? But what if I told you that bottle holds a secret that's way more about ancient health traditions than it is about happy hour? Well, we're about to uncover the real story behind that bitter taste. So, is that all they are? Just some dusty, old-fashioned ingredient that's been rediscovered for craft cocktails? It's an easy assumption to make, but it barely, and I mean barely, scratches the surface of what bitters are really all about. Here's the real story. At their core, bitters are these super concentrated herbal extracts, and their original job, for centuries, had nothing to do with flavoring drinks. They were used as incredibly powerful digestive aids. Think of them as a wake-up call for your entire digestive system. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to look way beyond the cocktail glass. First, we'll dive into how our bodies have this amazing built-in reaction to bitter flavors. Then, we'll explore the incredible cascade of benefits that follows, figure out how to actually put bitters to use in a practical way, and finally, talk about why we should all probably start embracing the bitter. Okay, first up, let's get some context. The fact that bitters are trendy in cocktails right now, that's just a tiny, tiny blip on a very, very long timeline. The real story, their true roots, are deep in medicine and wellness. Yeah, this is not some new health fad. We're talking about a practice that spans the entire globe and goes back for centuries. From traditional Chinese medicine to European herbalism and Ayurveda in India, bitter herbs were absolutely fundamental. They were used to get the digestive system ready for food, to support the body's own detox processes. Honestly, they were considered essential for good health. So, how does a simple taste set off such a powerful body-wide reaction? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a brilliant, hardwired piece of our own physiology, and it all starts with something called the bitter reflex. So check this out. The instant those bitter compounds hit the taste receptors on your tongue, a signal zips straight to your brain. Your brain then flips a switch, activating a super important nerve that sends a message all the way down the line saying, "All right, system on, get ready." Your entire digestive tract gets this immediate wake-up call to prepare for incoming food. And the main player here is called the vagus nerve. The best way to think of it is as a communication superhighway running from your brain straight to your gut. Once that bitter taste activates it, it tells your stomach to start producing acid, it tells your pancreas to get enzymes ready, and it tells your liver and gallbladder to release bile. It's this incredible, perfectly coordinated preparation for digestion, all triggered by a single taste. Now, this wake-up call doesn't just stop there. Oh no, it sets off this amazing positive chain reaction, a whole cascade of benefits that goes way beyond just helping you digest your next meal. And the results of that chain reaction are pretty incredible. Of course, you get better digestion, but it also helps your liver do its detox job more efficiently. It can relieve all that annoying gas and bloating, and, get this, it can even help regulate your appetite and seriously curb sugar cravings. It's a truly holistic effect. So let's really nail this down. The number one absolute primary benefit is simply better digestion. When you take bitters before you eat, you are literally priming the entire system for success. You're making sure your body has all the tools it needs, the saliva, the stomach acid, the enzymes, ready and waiting, so it can break down your food efficiently from the very first bite. And we cannot forget the liver. Bitters are fantastic for liver support because they stimulate something called bile. Now, bile is crucial for digesting fats, but it's also the vehicle your liver uses to package up and get rid of toxins. So it's simple. Better bile flow means better, more efficient detoxification. All right, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually bring this into our daily lives? Well, it's a lot simpler than you might think. Let's get practical. You've really got two main windows for taking bitters. The most powerful, proactive way is to take them before a meal. That's when you get that whole priming the system effect we've been talking about. But they're also an amazing remedy to have on hand for after a meal. If you're feeling a little too full, bloated, or just have some indigestion, they can really help get things moving again. Now, for that ideal pre-meal boost, the sweet spot is about 15 to 30 minutes before you sit down to eat. That gives your body just enough time for that whole bitter reflex to kick in and get all those digestive juices flowing. Okay, listen up, because this might be the single most important takeaway from this whole explainer. You might be tempted to hide the taste in some juice or water. Don't do it. That actually defeats the purpose. The bitter taste hitting your tongue is the whole mechanism. The bitterness isn't a side effect you have to endure. It's the entire point. So, all of this brings us to a much bigger idea. It's really about changing our entire relationship with a flavor profile that, let's be honest, most of us have been taught to avoid our whole lives. I mean, think about it. Our modern food system is just dominated by sweet, salty, and savory flavors. We have literally engineered the bitterness out of so many of our foods. But our bodies haven't forgotten. We are still wired with these ancient reflexes, designed to recognize and use that bitter flavor as a powerful signal for health and digestion. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. In a world that's just overflowing with sugar and sweetness, have we accidentally forgotten about the incredible power of bitter? Maybe it's time we started to relearn how to embrace a flavor that our bodies not only recognize, but actually need to thrive.